All right, Big T. Want to follow up on some of the things we've been talking about with a quick review. Want to take the 2 points that I see here, and I'm going to do a rare point of contact video. Most of the time, we spend so much time on phase one, phase two, and phase three, we don't get to phase four very often. We do with guys that are with us a long time. And here, I want to take this snapshot right before you're actually going to make contact with the ball. You can see in red box number 2 to the right, the yellow arrow comes down to where the ball actually is. And so the ball's out front. You're in phase 4 out in the contact zone. And you're going to see that at the end of the bat, I've got a little blue arrow. And that blue arrow denotes that the head of that bat is basically going to get to the bottom of that ball. Now, you're doing just about everything else right. The head's there. You got a good V formation of the arms, the shoulders in. You have pivoted and your hips have opened up, but not quite as much. I want to take you to number one now. I'm going to show you why and what caused that, what was almost a perfect swing, near perfect, and you're getting so close. So you're going to keep working. Is that you see the angle of the red box number 1 with the orange arrow down to your back foot. That angle is not shoestrings forward. That angle is basically with the shoestrings up the first base line. And because that is that angle, you haven't torqued the hips. And so the hips and the hands and everything are kind of out ahead of that. And anytime that you've got the hips a little bit tardy or the pivot's a little slow, late in the swing, you're going to see that point of contact. I mean, you're right on that ball, but the bat head's not there. Well, why is that? It's because we have not yet still joined the first movement out of phase 2. Remember, phase 1's the starting stance. Very simple. Phase 2 is the load. And out of phase 2, the first initial movement should be the knob pivot action to the projected pitch plane. So you saw that ball, you read the plane, you're on it, but the hands and the front side of the body and the hips are just a hair ahead because you've got a slow backside pivot foot that just created an angle that right out there at contact, that bat head is going to drop just a little bit. So instead of being right on it square, okay, you can see the de-elevation, a little bit of de-elevation. And anytime a front foot opens, a backside pivot foot is a little slow and the hands get ahead of the pivot, or it's going to cause the bat head to drop at some point in the process. I've got 30,000 video clips to prove it, right? So that's something that nobody can argue with us. But I know that if I can get you to coordinate the knob and the pivot at the first movement and really accelerate that pivot shoestrings forward, you're on plane with that thing. And now all of a sudden, not only on plane on balls right there, but you're going to be able to get the balls up in the zone. So let's continue to focus on the backside pivot. That looks very good. We just want to get more consistent with it. So I'm real excited about your progress and look forward to watching us get to where we're just smacking everything on plane.